Amazing. Dr. J's back. He's got more breaking news. He's investigating the report that's happening in Miami that just broke about 47 hours ago. What's going on, Dr. J?
I got some interesting updates. First of all, let's talk about the actual footage of these beings, whether they be alien, time travelers, interdimensional, whatever. They're not allegedly human. People did try to photograph these. One witness said, even though people were in survival mode and not really thinking to pull out their cameras, one person did, in fact, pull out his camera and said the moment he started to record, the camera bugged out as if like hit with an EMP. And part is the craziest part. The people that did capture this phenomenon on camera, the police detained them. The police would not let anyone leave without showing them their phones and going through their photos first. Were they confiscated? Were they forced to delete? We don't know about that. But we do know that people were leaving, said that police detained them and would not let them go past the police barrier without them showing what footage they had.
Does that mean that the public is being suppressed from the information and the cops are actually confiscating videos from the location?
Yes, and not just that. They've actually confiscated all the surveillance footage from every store in the area. Now, I don't think the police is acting on their own. Whoever's flying those black helicopters, which are not owned by Miami PD, is probably the people in charge, whether it be Arrow or, whoever's the new MJ-12. Somebody at the top is clearly making the decision. But yes, people are being literally suppressed from not just speaking about this. I'm surprised the algorithms haven't shut this down, but suppressed from leaving with their footage. So all of it's gone somewhere, and that's why we don't have hundreds of videos of these beings, literally from 5 feet away, 30 feet away, front view, side view, distance, all that.
Who knows what's going on? There's a lot of people that said if you're so afraid of seeing something, people are going to just run. You don't have time to film. What was interesting to it today at the same time, Donald Trump, a former president, put out a tweet from Miami at the same time, and he says, what's going on over there? Why aren't they giving us a truth, whatever broke down? He's not saying anything with regards to aliens or anything like that. He just wants to know what's going down. What's your opinion?
I wouldn't be surprised if while this was happening, because also, this is the crazy part. We don't hear about any craft nearby, but there was interference with air traffic controllers. I've heard that. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Secret Service took President Trump wherever he was and put him in sort of a lockdown mode, protecting him until they figured out what was going on. And while he was being taken into, some sort of secured vehicle or some sort of secure room, I'm sure he jumped onto his iPhone, hopped onto his, Truth Social, and popped out that question, what is going on? Considering, looking at the footage, you see the entire Miami PD responding to this incident.
Well, I would think that third phase of moon, Donald Trump should be keeping a close eye on it, because we're breaking the news as fast as it comes in via the public access that we have. But once again, we're looking into the footage. Some people are speculating that these are just command officers or police officers in a tandem, 3 of them, and it's creating this optical illusion. Do we have any really clear evidence of what's going on down on the ground, or is it all being confiscated?
And that's part of the reason what I heard. Okay, there's 2 explanations why people were running away. One, people were generally scared of what they were seeing. The other reason people were running away is because they knew they were seeing people being detained by police. They did not want to get caught. And so that's both reasons why people were running. One, from fear of the ETs or whatever these are, and 2, fear from the police. Now, the explanation about those 3 cops in tandem, I don't think that's a good explanation, because if you look before and after that being, or what they say, the 3 officers in tandem, you'll see other police standing by or walking in the streets. Compare the size of them versus this white-skinned being, and this being is double the size of any human in the area.
let's just say if we do get body cam footage and it does show three tandem officers walking in there, this is going to be all shut down within minutes. So we'll see what happens. Is the police going to release a body cam footage of Paula?
You know what I think is interesting about this is that there were not really many eyewitnesses on the scene that actually had any footage, or like I want to hear what their stories are. I want to know where this started, where everyone started saying this. I'm curious to know like what were the first original videos that were coming out about this. So yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely really interesting what's going on here, especially because Trump himself came out and tweeted that there's something going on here. Like him coming out and saying that was definitely very interesting. You know, Dr. J, I'm curious, do you know of anyone who was actually on the scene who filmed their reaction there? I know there was the guy that worked at the Foot Locker or whatever it was, but have you heard of anyone else coming out about their accounts? I heard everyone was like really scared and they're running and screaming and it was hard for them to like film. What do you know about that?
Well, like I said, I've heard from at least or seen at least 10 different individual testimonials. I'm not talking about like 10 friends that know each other. People who are not connected, different areas. For instance, one gentleman driving with his girlfriend approaching the area before the police got there and then saw people running away from something in fear. And this is before they heard alleged fireworks or gunshots or whatever the explanation was. So people were already in fear of something before. And then I heard probably 7 different people describe the different beings. And like the one that was played in the video last night, that gentleman that was talking about seeing that shadow looking being that would disappear and reappear even closer. Other people talked about, like I mentioned, the tall white beings with the big black almond eyes. Other people were talking about a third type of being, which is more like the skunk ape. So you have different accounts and you have different locations all around the streets and all around in between those stores where people did see those and talked about them. And what's crazy is they're all scattered on TikTok. And also, let me throw this in, not related to your question. The body cam footage that we were talking about earlier, if police want to shut the story down right away, they could release body cam footage and say, look, it was teenagers. Here are the fireworks. Story's closed. No aliens. But the fact that they haven't released anything at all begs the question, if why are they allowing the story of these ETs to go around with such a really unbelievable cover story if they could squash it? The reason is because they can't squash it. Something happened. Too many people saw these beings. You can't erase their memory.
Dr. J, I have a question for you. So do you think that this is some sort of experimental program or some sort of program, like some sort of government program where they're testing some sort of new technology out, like some sort of Project Blue Beam hologram type technology, and it somehow just ended up being tested in front of this crowd?
I think that absolutely could be the case, but I think that would be more of the preface for a false flag of an alien invasion to sort of hoard us in a way to enact more laws that take away more of our rights. Everyone's heard about, the false flag of alien invasion. Werner von Braun used to tell his assistant, Carol Rosin, this up until he passed away. And she's still talking about it as Dr. Greer. That is definitely one explanation. But I think the more logical one is that in the last 2 years, not 5, not 10, but in the last 2 years, Third Phase of Moon has been inundated with amazing footage all around the world. But more so, people have started seeing creatures, beings, whether they be trail cams in the forest, or like we talked about last night in Nevada, in Las Vegas case, where you had those aliens in the backyard, or like right now, you are literally being inundated with not just stuff in the sky. We now have people walking amongst us that don't seem human. So could this be hologram or some sort of new military technology, Project Bluebeam? Absolutely. But I think it's more of disclosure sort of happening, or this dimension is merging with another. Something is, you could feel it in the air. Something is going on, and these beings are making themselves known more than ever.
Yeah, exciting times. Let me tell you, what we've been sharing over the past few months on Third Phase Moon and what's been breaking down, it's interesting. But again, we got to have that smoking gun, and hopefully that these body cam, uh, police footage, and the people's footage, the public's footage, isn't suppressed because right now it seems like there's some kind of a blacklist of what's going on with regards to this situation. So we're having concerns if we could find out more information. Yeah, I'm sure that what's going to happen with the police cam footage, maybe it might just explain everything. We might just see it the next day and then we'll all just like shrug this off. It could just be uh, right there on the promenade where you see whatever video we're looking at here that people say is an alien, a 8-foot alien could be just a prop or just people walking, police officers. And that could possibly come in. But let's just say you're going to be doing the investigation, Dr. J, and if there's no body cam footage, nothing coming from the police, nothing from that area, that's going to leave everybody suspicious. So let's just see what happens in the next couple hours because this is all fluid right now. Nobody knows what's going down. We weren't there, but people are. There's people there on the ground that are saying they saw something phenomenal, something that scared the living hell out of them. So what's going on? We just want to know. We got to ask the big questions.
And you have hundreds and hundreds of people that were involved in this. This isn't 2 or 3 people. Now, we live in a society now where everyone has video cameras, HD video cameras in their pockets, sometimes more than one, for instance, right? Not long ago, literally a blink of an eye, when you look at the last several thousand years, just go back 70 years ago, 100 years ago, when very few people had access to any type of photography. In a court of law, someone could be convicted to death with one witness, one eyewitness that was credible. So remove the fact that, let's just say we don't get access to body cams that show anything. You still have dozens of people already who have come forward talking about what they saw. And like I mentioned, up to this moment that we're talking about this, 7 different people who I've seen already talk about seeing these beings. And I'm sure by the time we do the next update, that number's going to rise even higher.
You know what's happening, Dr. J, too, at the same time, we're going to be contacting these people, these eyewitnesses, and getting personal information from them, their personal opinion, what happened on the ground, Blake. Yeah, absolutely, and including, as you say, the whole aspect of the criminal prosecution. Unfortunately, the UFO aspect doesn't pertain to the legal aspect because eyewitness is, like you said, could put somebody away for the rest of their life, and this means this could be the whole aspect of changing one's life. So could the testimony from these people be the one that proves everything? I'm not exactly sure, but what's going on in Miami, that's the big question.
Yeah, what I want to know is if aliens were coming to Earth, why would they go to Miami first of all? Like, it's kind of a joke. I'm saying this is kind of a joke, but I mean, why Miami if these are aliens? I'm curious to know the answer to that.
People ask, why are the aliens landing at the White House lawn as if the President of the United States speaks for the world? Well, let's go back to Zimbabwe, right? You had the aerial school landing. People wondered, why Zimbabwe? Why would aliens choose to land and speak with 8 to 10-year-old children as opposed to, say, the Prime Minister or the royal family of England? Who knows what these beings were seeing above the sky? This is a large planet. From the sky, you don't know who to talk to. What better place to land and speak to or make yourselves known to a massive group of people? I mean, the only thing better would have been landing at a massive concert. You know, here you have hundreds of people, and I'm sure by the time we get done with this, we'll realize it could be up to 1,000 people were involved, from the police officers to the pilots in the sky to the police copter to the black helicopters, who I wish we could speak to those pilots, and the store employees. You have everybody involved. Security that was working there before police arrived. There's so many people we can speak to and get information from. I hope people that are hearing this that live in Miami will come forward if they have something to contribute.
You know, what I'm thinking as you're saying this is that maybe this is happening all the time, this sort of thing. Like, people are having these experiences all the time, and, you know, maybe even in our sleep at night. It's really crazy. And, you know, it just goes to show that these things are out there. Like, maybe they're already among us. It's interdimensional. Who knows?
I completely agree. They probably are walking amongst us right now, and more people are noticing that. You know, as I mentioned yesterday, one of the people said when he first saw this being and thought it was a street performer, because he said no one was reacting. This being was literally walking next to other people who just didn't notice it at first. So maybe everywhere amongst this globe, people are seeing this, but this just happened to be one where it was seen by so many people that police responded, and it blew up out of control before the cover-up could get a hold of it.
We're gonna find out. Let me just say this: we're listening, we're watching the evidence, and again, the evidence is still obscure, in my opinion. The videos aren't crystal clear. We haven't received the body cam footage, so at the moment, we're speculating here. But maybe something has happened. Obviously, the police force and the story doesn't match up. Something is amiss here. So we're going to find out. And again, congratulations on talking to the police department, but we're going to have to follow up this Monday to follow up and see if they have any other official statements from the police in Miami. Yeah. We're over the weekend right here. We're just getting started. So the story is kind of going to be playing itself out in real time from Saturday till Monday. What are you going to do next, Dr. J?
Oh, first thing Monday morning, I'm calling their public affairs office, which the police officer told me won't be open until then. They're open only during business hours during the week, of course. And those FOIA requests that we've already asked for, we've already filed to get the body cam footage. I hope they release those soon before they start editing and cutting out the good stuff. You know, I'm a little skeptical. Are they going to give us all of it? Are they going to give us just from the cops furthest away? But legally, they're supposed to release everything to us. So let's just see if there's something fishy with what they actually give us.
We just talked to our lead FBI agent who's still active. He's been a friend for us with our partnership for almost 40 years now. And he just looked into this. Who knows what's going to go on? But he did say that it shouldn't take long to get these police cam videos from the police officers themselves. It should be released almost within days. So this isn't complicated. So maybe we're going to see everything happen in real time.
Oh, I expect the body cam footage to be released as soon as these FOIA requests are processed. And like you said, days, not weeks, not months. And if it does take weeks, that begs the question, what are they hiding or what are they redacting? Because like you said, these body cams are placed for we the people, not so much for the cops, but we the people to be able to hold them accountable and most importantly, see what they're seeing. So we own this footage. Even though I'm not a citizen of Florida, we know people and work with people that live there that have the right to this. So like I said, we've already filed the FOIA request. Now it's just a matter of them giving it to us.
Breaking news right here at Third Phase of Moon. Incredible testimony from Dr. J, and we've got more updates coming in. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification button for more updates. Everybody, keep your eyes on the skies. We'll see everybody next time.